We have 64 days left this year. Can you believe it? We're genuinely in that time of the year where if you blink, you'll miss it and then it's over. And I know for me, too much time has gone by where I just haven't been focusing on the things that I need to be focusing on. I have too much clutter, too much excess, too much going on. And then it all just kind of becomes this thing where you just kind of put your head down, scroll on your phone, ignore it all, and nothing gets taken care of it. And honestly, I just don't want to waste another year like that. Ever since Hurricane Helene last year, I have not felt like my life has been put back together since then. And I'm kind of over it. And so I had this like, hey, at almost 40, can you actually get rid of everything and restart your life? I don't know, but I'm working on it, right? And I've got 64 days left to try to make this happen. Now, I do want to give a massive shout out here because a channel, I don't watch a lot of YouTube, honestly. I know I live under a rock. I don't watch much, but some of you suggested this channel to me a little while ago, and I checked out a few of the videos and I was like, thank you. Thank you for being another sane person out there, calling out these things, standing firm on the truth of God's word and living this out in your life. And that's Appalachia's Homestead with Patara. And I happened to see last night this video where she's talking about her health journey her and her husband have been going through. And the health part of this has actually been a huge key aspect for me of, yes, the clutter, the mess, and then the health part of it has really been my biggest drive. You guys are voting on my habits each and every week, and I actually have to go check the computer later because you guys have a new habit you've just voted in, so we'll see which one won and which one I'm gonna add in as part of the process to rebuild my life and live the life I actually want to be living. And a lot of the habit suggestions that I have been giving to you all have been health related, because for me, really focusing on that is just as important, if not more important, than the physically removing the weight, the clutter, the excess in the house is removing the weight and the clutter and the excess on my personal body. The stuff that I know is bogging me down, the things that I know are going to have implications down the road. And so I am going to be just incredibly vulnerable with you all here today and address this. My hope being that it truly can speak to you, if that is the Lord's will, that it can connect with you and be something to help encourage you in this process as well. So welcome, friends. Come settle in, because it is time to put on the true armor that the Lord has given us and start walking out our days living heavenly minded. So before we get into it, here's what I tackled this morning. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna show you everything. And then let's get into it. Good morning, baby boy. Did you have sweet bunny dreams? Good morning, Becky. No. Realized I need more protein creamer. Let's make some real quick. Protein, milk, shaker bottle, best whisk ever. I make one of these every few days. 2 scoops of powder. I get mine at Walmart, super affordable, and you pour a little bit of milk in to start. Just enough to kind of cover the powder a bit. And I use this amazing frother and mix it up really well. Make sure you get the stuff down on the bottom so you don't end up with clumps. And go up and down the sides. Sometimes I would just use the shaker bottle and I'd get a few clumps in there, and that drove me crazy. So I froth it up first on the first day when I make it. And then after it's already been made, I just shake it. Looking very frothy, very mixed. I'm gonna top it off with a little more milk. Just fill it all the way up. We're gonna go use some, put my shaker top in there. Twist this on good and tight. Make sure your lid is snapped shut. And you can give it a good shake to kind of fill in, mixing up the milk we just added in. And voila, you have protein, amazing, healthy, wonderful, but delicious creamer to use in your coffee for the next few days. So I wanted to look at my health specifically. So I weighed myself this morning. I know over this past year, I have gained more weight than I don't know the last time I weighed this much. I've felt it. And I'll just say here, I don't care what the number is. The number to me doesn't matter. I have no target number, target size, or anything like that. For me, it is, when do I feel good? Do I feel comfortable? Do I feel healthy? Do I feel like my body is able to do what it's able to do? And I don't really feel that right now. And I can be just, again, I'm laying all the vulnerability out to y'all, because I know sometimes we see people talk about this stuff online and you're like, oh yeah, easy for you to say. I'm just going to say it, and I trust that we're friends here. And again, that if the Lord can use it to help someone else, and he'll use it to help someone else. Okay. So I'm just gonna throw it out there. I have noticed a couple different things. One is on my other channel, Make Femininity Great Again. I have been backing up. I have a lot of content about just womanhood and homemaking. And I'm sorry, the rabbit is back here making an absolute mess. So hopefully you guys can even still hear me, because he gets so mad if I put stuff in his little gold basket, and I tried to tidy up and put stuff in there. Now he's throwing everything everywhere. Benjamin, you're a menace. I back up other videos onto that channel, and they're ones I've done before that have kind of just gotten buried on this channel, so I back them up over there. And you know it's bad when somebody left the most loving, kind message. It was, but she was like, wow, you, like, what are you doing? How did you get in shape so fast? You look just so like thin and young and vibrant. I don't remember the exact word she used, but it was something along those lines. She was like, you look so good. Like, what have you been doing? The video was like from 2 years ago. That's what I had been doing. I was more active. I was eating carnivore. I was like doing different things that really, really was working, apparently, because I have not been doing that super hot. I mean, I don't think I feel like I've been doing horrible, but I haven't been doing it super well, especially for the past year, a little over a year now since the hurricane. But when I got that comment, I was like, yep, these videos are older. That's why I look so much better. I guess I really do look that different when like you take a new video next to an old video. Okay, it was fine because it was true. But then I noticed, especially doing this series where I'm putting a video out every day, and it's not just more so just me sitting here talking, but I'm doing stuff and I'm looking, and some of these as I'm editing, I'm like, whew, these are some unflattering angles. That's really what I look like, right? I have put on that weight. I have done those things. Now, I don't think there's anything necessarily, wrong. I don't care. Again, I just want to make this abundantly clear. And talking to women about weight is like the worst thing you could possibly do. I don't care what the number is. I know I haven't, I could gain more, right? Like, I understand that. Like, I'm not saying anything about that. I'm just saying that I feel it. I feel that things don't fit right. Clothes that I used to wear all the time, I don't wear anymore because they don't fit right. I can feel that I'm not as active as I should be. I can quite literally see and feel that I don't have the muscle mass at all that I should. I mean, I have, if there's like a negative amount of muscle mass, that's probably what I have. I can feel those things. And I just feel like as I'm getting older, you're noticing it even more. And this is where we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about Patara from Appalachia's Homestead here in just a second, because that's where it all ties in. But I went ahead and typed in my stats. My scale gave me my body fat percentage, body water percentage, muscle mass, bone mass, and my BMI. And so I kind of I'm just going to be totally transparent with y'all and show you all my numbers. I currently weigh 167.2 pounds. That is, I've hit 100, I've hit like this marker before. And I want to say it's before I started carnivore the first time. And that was kind of my, I was eating plant-based. I was doing all of these things that they were telling me to do and all of this. And I just kept gaining more weight, feeling more awful. My hormones were out of control, all these different things. And so that's when I gave in. We started carnivore and it just started falling right off. I had never felt better in the whole wide world than when I was eating purely carnivore. Yes, Benny. Hi, buddy. And he comes up and he nudges my foot, so I'll pet him. It's so cute. So anyways, I was doing that. I got off track, and then you know what happens when you get off track? You end up weighing, 170 pounds again. So I just wanted to share the details that it gave it with me. I'm having it all together. I said, hey, I think that sometimes this can be one of the greatest things that we can do, to go and find out. Sometimes we think, okay, well, it is what it is, or I don't even know where to begin. Well, sometimes one of the greatest places to know where to begin is to just know where you are, okay? That's where, things like, I don't think we should count every calorie, but if you get a calorie counting app and start logging your food for even just one day, my daughter and I do this just because she wanted to be more accountable to like the junk she was eating. We have one that we both do, and we log our stuff every single day, and it breaks down how much of every, what your target goals are. It breaks down the nutrients and everything, so you can see, right, this is how much protein you're actually getting, this is how much sugar you're ingesting, right? It breaks it all down for you, and I can link it down below if you guys are interested. But having that like accountability to just see where you're at and see what you're actually consuming is definitely a little eye-opening to be like, oh, maybe I have a little more issue in some areas than, I thought I did. So this is what it says about mine. It says my BMI of 26.3 puts me in the overweight category. So I am like in the lower end. Overweight category begins at 25 to 29.9, and I am at 26.3. So then it goes to my body fat percentage. For me, that is 30.1. It says that is actually more telling. For adult women, this falls into the average range. The average for women is 25 to 31%. And again, I'm at 30.1. So I'm just barely in the average body fat percentage. My muscle mass of 33.2 is relatively modest. Building muscle through strength training would improve your body composition and metabolic health. I know I need that 1,000%. I saw somebody talking about how some health guy, it was really quite fascinating. And he was talking about how the greatest anti-aging thing that, right, everybody wants the secret elixir to find the fountain of youth to stay young for forever. And he was like, if you want to truly reverse the signs and the effects, right, the downside of aging, build muscle, because building muscle is the magical elixir to the problems of aging that, everybody is scared of and doesn't want to run into. My muscle mass is 33.2, so it says relatively modest. I know there's an issue there. My bone mass of 6.6 is reasonable, though continuing weight-bearing exercise is important to maintain and strengthen bones. And again, I know that I am horrible at that topic, so I think it's actually even being kind of kind to me to say the things. So what really sparked me to bring this in and say, you know what, regardless of what my habits are, this is where we need to start focusing. We're getting ready, right? We're in the final 2-month stretch. I want to see real change. Well, this is what brought it up.
So, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Welcome back to the channel, and why the channel is focused on why I homeschooled my kids. You can get an old bag and sling it on your back and put a couple of those cans and walk the driveway for free. So for everything that somebody tells me they can't, with a T, do, I'm going to come back and probably say there's something you can do, and I'm going to give you an example. Choices that you can make with your diet, I think you're going to see some improvement, and that's going to build your confidence back, and just going to remind you that you have a purpose to be here, which is going to motivate you again. You're going to keep going. You can do these things too. So don't get upset or depressed when I tell you to try your best to do it and tell you you can do something today, because you can. And I tell you that because it's the truth, and I tell you that because I love you, and I tell you that because I know how insane things are, and I know how insane things could get, and we need strong people like you to be around. Don't wait until you have a health crisis and it's the only thing that you can take care of. It's a good time to focus on some of this because it gives you something positive to focus on as well, okay? It's not making it about you selfishly. In the end days, people are going to be about themselves. No, this is called, I'm going to be a warrior for God, because my body is a temple given to me in the image, given to me by God in his image. Yeah, I'm going to try. And I'm going to try because I owe that to myself, and I owe that to my family, my spouse, my children. Because I want to be that pillar today. I want to be that pillar tomorrow.
So honestly, I just want to say thank you, Patara, genuinely. I don't know if you will see this, obviously, but does anybody else watch her channel? Leave her a comment, let her know that we're all, sending her our love over here. I would love to get a hold of her somehow. I was thinking about this the other day, even before this happened. I was like, you know what? I'd love to just sit down and have a conversation with you. Like, what a blessing you are to this space. And I'm so proud of, I pulled up her channel and I was like, wow, like good for her. She is doing phenomenal. And like I said, I just got introduced to her channel a little bit ago. I know people had mentioned it before, but like I said, I don't watch a lot of YouTube. So I actually got on and I was watching some of her stuff a couple months ago, and I was like, wow, thank you. Yes, it's so nice to see like-minded sisters in Christ that are talking about the real stuff and digging in, and I thought that was so wonderful. And so, like I said, this challenge for me really is about, yes, the physical weight around me, but a lot of it really goes back to my health stuff. And I know that there are areas that I need to be focusing, that I need to be paying attention. That's, I want to get into it. I want to get back here. I want to get started. And I hadn't yet. And then I watched this video and I said, I know exactly what I'm doing today, because it is so important. And honestly, we could sit here and talk about what is going on with our health, why it's happening. You look at how our food is all poisoned, everything we use. I mean, we literally take in poisons all day, from your soaps to your cleaners, to your laundry detergent, to your lotions, to your makeup. I mean, to everything that we do. There's so many toxins all around us. And then our food is really not even food, right? I tell my kids all the time, I've always taught them, read the ingredient label. There should be 5 ingredients or less, and you should know what every single one of those are, okay? You start learning about what high fructose corn syrup actually is. And that was the day that I stopped consuming anything with high fructose corn syrup in it, years ago. And so I really appreciate her coming up and saying these things and putting this stuff out there and being that encouragement to toe that line and say, no, it does make a big difference. It does happen. And that was kind of for me after I watched it last night. I was like, you know what? I need to actually go in there and stand on the scale and see where my starting point is, because I need to start. I need to make these changes. And I need to make it not because I'm obsessed with myself, right? I love she touched on that in the video. People just want a reason to be negative about everything, and that's not it. Are we actually living like our bodies are living temples? I did a video on this before, and I said, I don't think God designed us to be fat, sick, and miserable. I think he designed us to be fit, healthy, and serving. And that's really hard to do when you feel like junk. And I know for this past year solid, we got totally derailed with the hurricane, obviously, because you couldn't get stuff, right? Our interstates fell off the mountains, okay? Like there was a big disruptment. I can't talk today, apparently. Disruption. There we go. I don't know. There's a big disruption, right? Things were off. We had to make do with what we had, and that's fine. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with emergencies or things happening that cause you to fall completely off the bandwagon. Most of us who are unhealthy, who are unfit, can usually trace it back to something that really kicked off that point. But the sad point is when we look around, most of us, leave me a comment down below. Do you feel like you could be more intentional and make improvements to your health? Or do you feel like you are solidly good, strong, healthy, fit, active, like you're good? You're not worried about it. If you just keep on doing what you're doing, you're already set. Let me know. Maybe I'm off and more of you are on it and I'm just late to the party. That is totally possible. I'm not even joking, right? It could just be me. Let me know down in the comments. What about you? Because for me, yes, I do believe that most American households have more stuff in them than they need. Most of us are holding on to too much stuff. How many people have garages that they don't even park in because they're so full of stuff? I don't have a garage, so I can't say that. I know I have a basement, though, that I normally don't go and utilize to any great purpose because it just somehow ends up being where all the stuff goes to die and just continue on forever. I know that that's true for most households, and I think we're seeing that with most of you are like, oh, I'm so glad you're doing this because I need to get out there and I need to be tackling this in my house too. Good thing, friend, like we're here, let's do this thing. But I think for most of us, we look at our health and we go, you know what? I'm probably not as fit as I should be. Like when you put your details in for it to be like you are overweight was kind of like, oh, okay, here I am. Like, you're right. I'm not in the best health. I know that even in the past year, I can see I have the Apple Watch and I can track my health trends. There's some areas where I do great, but I can look at it and I can see where my cardio health, my heart health, all these different things, I can see a trend where it has gone down. I used to get up every morning, my husband and I would go walk, right? I used to do this, I used to do that, I used to do all these things. And then life happened, things went wonky, and I just don't do them anymore. And so regardless of what habit got voted in, I did some fun ones this week, which I'm actually really excited to see. All the habits you guys were voting on for this week were like fun ones. So I'm really excited to see. Last time I did peek. Last time they were kind of close. So I'm really not sure which one has won. So we're gonna go check that one second. But I need to start making some changes, and I'm publicly putting all of my vulnerable information out there to you guys so that we can say, okay, here's where we are, here's where I'm starting, come and join me, or just watch along if you want. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna start putting together a plan. I got a few things here. I've got 15 minutes I gotta go get on. I do a prayer live with my members group on Wednesdays, and so I need to go hop on there with them, which I'm really excited. I missed it last week because they were taking my friend to the big hospital out in Duke University, and so I get to catch up with everybody today. I'm really excited excited for that. Love that time of fellowship. You guys are welcome to come and join us. Join the group. We've got lots of fun studies that we do. We've got a private members group. And then of course these lives on Wednesdays. So I got to go get on that. My daughter wakes up. Hopefully she'll, be up and ready to go by the time I get done with the live. We need to run to Hobby Lobby because she is making this amazing project. She's so creative and cool. She's paper macheing sea animals, like making sea animals out of paper mache and then painting them and Mod Podging them and doing all this really cool stuff. And she made a stingray that looks like it's like swimming through the water. So we got to go get the last things that she needs to be able to put that piece of art up so that way it can be good to go. So I told her if she was ready after my live, we'd go run and do that real quick. Of course, I had my homeschool day with my girls. We got to get our homeschool work done. And then I finished the kitchen yesterday. You can't tell right now because there's laundry everywhere. I got a little behind on laundry. So I caught up on that last night after finishing the kitchen. So now the kids got to separate the laundry and get that put away. But then the kitchen is so much tidier and back. At least that part's done. I still need to do the dining room and pantry side, but the kitchen side is done. When we get back though, we're going to do homeschool. I doubt I'm going to do any work here in the house because I'm just gonna take it. Patara said so. We were talking, watching her video, doing this. I feel ready to go. We're gonna do this thing. I'm heading over to the Y. I've never been to a Y anywhere. We have one here in town and we're gonna go sign up and get a family membership. I've got to sit down, I gotta look at it. I have no clue how they work. I genuinely know like next to nothing about them. My daughter's counselor, she goes and she hasn't been going as much recently, but she used to go and take different classes and do different things. And she was like, you guys should get a membership. Like we can totally go together. My girls are really looking into doing some swimming and some different stuff. So I was like, you know what? Let's just go over. Let's sign up. Let's get a membership to the Y for the family. It was incredibly affordable. Incredibly affordable. You can give them your income, so they'll even prorate it based off of what you make, which was super helpful. I could not believe, I was really stunned at how affordable it was. I was like, let's just go sign up. We're gonna do that today. I'm gonna set it all up so that we can start practically making these changes because I want to address this. I want to start losing, yes, pounds around me, but the pounds hanging off of me, right? I want to start making my home a place of peace, of nourishment, of what I actually want it to be. And I want my body to become fit and healthy, that I feel good, that things don't hurt, the inflammation, right? The hormone balancing, all of these different things. Again, I tried to do quite good in this area, and I think I do better than I have before. So there's definitely a lot of good things I am doing, but there's still just too many bad things. There's too many things that just aren't keeping things balanced here. And so I need to address that and stop putting it off and I'll get to it and one day. Nope, I looked at the facts. I saw the numbers. I saw the things. That's my starting grid. What am I doing? Why am I letting time just pass me by and not taking care of the things that really matter? And what's more important than our health? Because most of us, if we're not already in the midst of health crisis, it's probably in the near future because we live in just such an unhealthy time of history. And yet everybody acts like it's normal. It's been so normalized. We've become so desensitized to the chemicals in our food, the fakeness of what we're consuming, our lack of energy, our lack of movement. So many things have just become way too normalized. And I don't think it's normal to be sick and tired all the time. I don't think it's normal that we're all obese, that we're all unfit, that we all have poor cardio health. I don't think those things are normal. And I don't want to continue on doing the same myself. And so I'm holding myself accountable here, putting it out to you all. Let's go check this habit real quick. And it's about time for me to get on my live, spend some time with the ladies, get to Hobby Lobby, get our homeschool day done, get to the Y and sign up because I do not want to feel fat, sick, and miserable anymore. I want to be fit, healthy, and serving. So let's do this thing. Okie dokie, friends. The habit you all voted in. So you guys can go to my page and click on the post tab to see the different habits to vote on. The habit we have, wow, see, it is close. You had the options of more time out enjoying my sheep, which is one of my favorite things to do, or making a fresh weekly bouquet, and then enjoying a third space regularly. Nobody was really feeling that one. 38 to 44. Look how close they are. So the winner is out there. And especially this time of year, this will help with the health stuff as well because my sheep Ruth loves going for walks, genuinely, like a dog. Like I could take her hiking, honestly, and she would love it. And so 44% you guys have locked in this next habit. I'm gonna get out there. I'm gonna be spending more intentional time with my sheep. So the first habit you guys voted in was no devices first, and I added last hours of my day. Second was an intentional weekly Sabbath, which you guys saw on Monday. Third was reading 30 minutes each day, which I just shared with you guys kind of how I built a little fall curriculum for myself. And so I have my books literally right here that I'm spending time in, usually in the evenings. I don't have my Bible right here, my study booklet, because I was working on that already, but spending time in these books and just getting intentional time reading, which I am loving. And was that the fourth habit, third habit, fourth habit, whatever habit we're on? I don't know, because now I lost count. Next habit is getting intentional time out there, just enjoying my sheep. And honestly, I'll probably still be doing the fresh bouquet. I was a florist for like a decade. I had a wedding business. I did weddings and events and big, beautiful, wonderful things. I miss working with florals. And so my girls, even the flowers you guys saw on my table, my daughter, she picked those for me yesterday and brought them in. My kids are constantly making bouquets. I love doing that. And I just want to be more intentional. I used to be really good at it. Something, again, one of those things that kind of goes by the wayside when you're not paying attention. And I love getting out there. I love having fresh flowers on the table. They make such a difference. So fresh flowers on the table and time out enjoying my sheep. I might be able to combine both of those. I've got a bouquet my 7-year-old made for me that's kind of hanging in here. It's kind of on its last leg, but it's still cute, still here. And honestly, enjoy a third space regularly. Getting out and going to the Y, that's technically I might be able to check off all 3 of these habits with the things that we're trying to work on here soon. So thank you to Patara for putting that out there and just calling us out in love. I'm so thankful for her channel. Again, if you come across this, there's any way, y'all, we can get this going. I would love to connect with her and have a conversation. And I think she is so inspirational and does so much great work. I've been wanting to do more. I did one with Tilly Dillahay the other day. I'd love to be doing more heavenly minded conversations and having more videos like that coming out along with all of these things. So who knows, y'all, let me know. Maybe leave her a comment, leave me like, let's see if we can make something happen here and get to connect. Hey, if it's the Lord's will and it could be used to bless others, he'll make it happen. So I'm not worried about that, but really thankful for her and what she's put out there. Love her going in and kind of blazing the trail and calling this out, because I know it's things that I've talked about in time to time, but then it's things that I've let go by the wayside too, and I need to get back on track with. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get back on it. We've got my new habit. Got a big day ahead of us. Live, gotta go start that. Hobby Lobby, gotta get the stuff so the Stingray couldn't get installed, right? Very important. Homeschool day, gotta get to that. Nothing more important than pouring into my kiddos. And then get over to the Y and sign up for a membership. I don't even know how that works. I have no clue. I really don't know. I got on their website and I was reading some stuff and I'm like, I don't really know how this all works. I think I get a membership. I think I get online. I can pick classes and then I just go to them. Kids can swim. Like, I think it's how it works. I don't really know though. We're just gonna show up. We're gonna figure it out. And I will see you all right back here tomorrow. So be sure, subscribe, like this video if you're feeling encouraged and you're like, you know what, maybe this is an area. I know it can be kind of hard to look at it, but I think I need to do that. Also, I'm going to make sure I take my Primal Queen before I get busy today and forget. This is like the one thing keeping me going. Now, if only I can add in the other things in my life that need to be taken care of. Beef organs, game changer, y'all. I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with me here today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow. Go check out these videos that, come on, let's have some more encouragement here. I'm going to go see my gals over in the live and I will see you all then. Bye, friends.